Good evening and welcome to the Sacramento LGBT Community Center's virtual Pride Awards Gala. I'm Natalie Fujikawa, board president for the center, and I want to thank you all for joining us this evening to honor community members and activists who exemplify the Sacramento LGBT Community Center's mission to create a region where LGBTQ people thrive. So tonight's award recipients are folks who have devoted themselves to the LGBTQ plus movement, continually serving the needs of our community and empowering those with no voices to speak, act, and fight for what's right. The Sacramento LGBT Community Center is honored that you've joined us tonight to recognize these individuals. I'd like to take a moment to additionally recognize our outgoing board president for his many years of dedicated service, Carlos Marquez. Carlos has led the center through remarkable growth, from our small Victorian across from the Mercantile Inn to Midtown's signature and iconic red brick building. Similarly, our programs have expanded exponentially to focus on youth experiencing homelessness, to provide outreach and advocacy services, and to host the largest LGBTQ plus event in the region with Sacramento Pride. Thank you, Carlos. You continue to be an inspiration, and I look forward to continuing your work and vision as board president.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pride Awards 2020. We're virtual. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. We heard from Natalie. She shared that amazing message to start us off. Folks, if you're here, do us a favor. If you could say hi in the YouTube chat bar real quick. I see a lot of love already for Natalie. If you're here, let's give as much love as we can. Let's all say hi, connect with each other. Folks, we know we're virtual tonight and we'd love to be in person, but we're doing our very best here to come together as a community to support the Sacramento LGBT Community Center, folks. Let's give a lot of love to Sacramento LGBT Community Center. Folks, feel free, if you're at home right now, take a selfie with all of us on here. And then if you want to post or hashtag SAC LGBT Center. That's SAC LGBT Center, folks. Let's have some fun. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Folks, I see all of you in the YouTube chat bar. Yes, we've got Ariella and Kelsey and Jordan and Frank and Paul and Matthew and Oils and Lance and Stephanie and Heidi. Folks, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Sacramento LGBT Community Center, folks. We're coming together tonight to make a huge difference for an amazing cause, an amazing mission that we all are connected to. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I've got a couple logistical things for us. Now tonight, in our fundraising component, which will happen here just shortly in a few minutes, is you're going to want to go on 2 different devices or open up 2 different tabs. So you're going to want your tab of your YouTube Live where we are now, and let's keep commenting in the YouTube chat bar. You also want another tab with the link below, the prideawards.ggo.bid. Again, you're going to want to make sure you're currently at prideawards.ggo.bid. And if you haven't registered yet, we want to make sure you're all registered. So do that now. Go to prideawards.ggo.bid. Then if you still need to register, go to Start Bidding in the upper right corner, then click on the green Create Account, and then fill out your credit card information. You'll be all registered, all set, and you'll be able to start giving towards our Fund a Need, and you'll also be able to start bidding on our amazing live auction packages, folks. We've got some amazing live auction packages for you very shortly. We've got Patrick Harbison! A lot of love for Patrick Harbison, folks. He's going to do a magnum of wine with a beautiful wine experience. We've got a Mexico package for 2 to Cabo, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta. Folks, that one's going to be awesome. We've got Drewski's tonight, a 25-person catered party. Now, we know we're virtual. We know we're going through COVID, folks. We're doing everything tonight to make a difference. We've also got Botox! Folks, we've got an amazing live auction. We're going to have a lot of fun this evening, but it would not be without further ado if we didn't thank a lot of people that make tonight happen. So do us a favor, if you know one of our sponsors, our board of directors, our staff, our volunteers, our community, let's show a lot of love to all of these folks. We're going to start with our amazing sponsors. Now you'll start to see our sponsors here on the screen. We've got Safe Credit Union, Sacramento State, Stingers Up, Legato Whiskey, Smud, Kaiser Permanente, Tahoe Blue Vodka, Sarah Christina, Upstream Wines, Stonewall Democrat Sacramento, GILEAD Creating Possible, Stonewall Foundation of Greater Sacramento. A huge thank you to all of our amazing sponsors, folks. Thank you. And we also want to thank our amazing board of directors. We've got Natalie, Frank, Carl, Jody, Carlos, Darcy, Willie, Dr. Temporini, Josh, Dr. Moon Johnson, Ken, Patrick, and Todd. A lot of love to all of our board of directors, folks. Let's show them all some love in the YouTube chat bar. And we want to do a special recognition tonight for our board member, Carlos Marquez. He's going to be our outgoing board president. I've had a chance to know Carlos the last couple of years, an amazing, amazing person, and we are so grateful for you, Carlos. Let's show a lot of love for Carlos and everything that Carlos has done to create an amazing, amazing community here. And folks, last but not least, we want to thank all of our amazing staff. It starts with David and Lance and Jordan and Ariella and Kelsey. Thank you so much to our staff and our Pride Awards team, Charlotte and Keith. Thank you so much to everybody that makes tonight possible. We really appreciate it. Let's show a lot of love for everybody in our community, folks. And without further ado, I know we're all waiting to hear from the one and only, our fearless leader. Let's show a lot of love, and please enjoy this beautiful message from David.
I'm David Heitzman. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm the CEO of the Sacramento LGBT Community Center. Thank you, Natalie, our newly elected president, our entire board and staff, and tonight's award recipients for your passion, dedicated service to our community. And thanks to all of you for the belief you have in our mission and the trust you place in our work. Since 1978, the center has worked to create a region where LGBTQ people thrive. And in that time, there have been a lot of ups and downs. But I must admit that this past year has been a bit more of a doozy than even I would be expecting. If you'd asked me last June what we had planned for the year ahead, my list would have included opening a 12-bed LGBTQ youth shelter, launching a new host home program, and relocating to a new, larger lease space where we could offer more services to our community. All hugely historic accomplishments. My hopes and dreams for the year, however, did not include packing and unpacking and painting and moving our entire operation twice in 6 months in order to ultimately be able to buy a building that would permanently welcome our community home. I hadn't planned to adapt most of our support programs to a virtual environment in order to ensure folks could continue to receive services safely. I couldn't have known that we'd need to convert our 20,000 person Pride March and Festival into a week-long online-only event. I wouldn't have thought that we'd be setting up a COVID emergency relief fund to help people pay rent and medical bills, replace car batteries, and put food on the table. Or that we need to provide humanitarian aid for protesters as they confronted rubber bullets and tear gas on the streets just outside our doors. Our strategic plan certainly didn't say anything about an endless quest we would go on to acquire every mask and ounce of hand sanitizer and every square of toilet paper that I could get my hands on in order to ensure that our housing residents and HIV testers remain safe. And yet, we have accomplished all of these things and so much more because these are the things that our community needed most at this moment. Many organizations have closed their doors, laid off their staff or reduced services, or decided to board up their windows and hunker down and wait out the chaos. But not us. We marched forward to meet every challenge head on. A few months ago, an elderly woman named Janica came out to her family as transgender. Somewhat to her surprise, they quickly disowned her and kicked her out of the family home, just as the pandemic hit and everyone was ordered to stay indoors. With no place to go, she came to the center, and our staff helped her find a place to stay and assembled furniture and clothing to get her settled. She also got help with legal issues at the center and began attending multiple support groups. Then one day, a few weeks later, she called us again in desperation. She had nothing to eat. She had no money to buy food, and she was afraid to even go out to go to the store. For months now, staff have been picking out food and delivering it to her door every week. And this is just one example of the dozens of new clients who never before thought they would be the ones in need of help, who are now suddenly desperate for basic necessities and someone to talk to and help deal with the stress and isolation of it all. The last months have really highlighted three things for me. First, the LGBTQ community is and always has been incredibly resilient. Our team is also fiercely committed to doing whatever it takes to help our community not only survive this pandemic, but come out of it stronger together. Second, systemic racism, violence, and injustice continue to cause harm to the most vulnerable in our society. And we need to do more self-examination within the LGBTQ community and our own organization in order to authentically act in support of Black, Indigenous, queer, and trans people of color. And third, we must also prepare now for the avalanche of community members whose economic stability, housing status, and mental health are currently being ravaged by the pandemic. People who never thought they would be the ones reaching out for assistance are finding themselves in crisis. With your help, though, we can help lift them up. In the year ahead, we are committed to making more room in our housing programs by recruiting more hosts who will open their homes to help end youth homelessness. We are hiring in-house therapists to increase access to counseling and crisis intervention services that reduce the burden of stress, anxiety, and injustice. We're opening a new satellite office to increase access to sexual health services in the heart of the South Sacramento neighborhoods that continue to be hardest hit by an HIV epidemic that has been raging long before we heard of COVID-19. And we are committed not just to making statements against racism and systemic oppression, but taking actions internally and externally that support equity, inclusion, and racial justice for all Black lives in our community. At a time when the world is filled with uncertainty and political unrest, those in need can count on the center to be here for them no matter what their circumstance. And I believe that we can count on people like you to share your gifts in this emergency, not only with those who have always been vulnerable, but folks who are reaching out to us for the very first time. I know that with your support, there is hope. There will be a brighter days ahead, and we can build a more equitable, just, and culturally rich community together. Thank you for joining us in this mission. Now take a look at the impact you've already had on the lives of people in our community.
And thank you so very much, David. We appreciate it. We see a lot of love for David and the LGBT Community Center and our YouTube chat bar. Yes, Stephen, this is rad. We see you, Stephen. Thanks for being here. Folks, that's what tonight's about. It's about coming together now to make a big difference for the Sacramento LGBT Community Center. So folks, we're going to get started with our fundraising here very shortly in a few minutes. I just want to remind you real quick that you want to go to the link below at prideawards.ggo.bid. You're going to want to start to give to our Fund a Need tonight, which is for our short-term transitional emergency program that helps our youth have a shelter, and you're going to hear more about this amazing program. Tonight, folks, we're fundraising for all of our youth that need a place to stay with the transitional living program. So folks, without further ado, it is a true pleasure here to introduce We've already heard from her. She's the incoming board president. Folks, let's get a lot of love for Natalie as she shares a compelling, powerful story of hers. Please enjoy.
So last year, in part because of the generosity at Pride Awards 2019, we created the region's first LGBTQ plus homeless shelter by providing 12 beds to homeless youth for 90 days of shelter, meals, transportation services, clothing, assistance obtaining identification documents, case management, medical and mental health services, and a chance to establish a level of safety and security that can get them going to that next level of more permanent housing. So this was made possible by a grant by the California Office of Emergency Services. So to get a little bit personal for a bit, I, as a kid, always felt a little bit different. And growing up in a conservative town, I didn't know that people like me existed, people who identified as queer. And as a result, I tried to hide a big part of who I was. And I felt isolated and alone for a really long time. But years later, walking into a 20-something youth group at the center here in Sacramento, across from the Mercantile Inn, I felt like a part of me was coming home. And I was one of the lucky ones. I had more than what I needed to make it through. And so not everybody's in that same boat. And so, more than 40% of homeless youth across the country identify as LGBTQ. I know that's a widely shared statistic, but it's a big one. And it's true, and we see it every day. So today we're celebrating the very first anniversary from 2019 of our STEP house, our short-term emergency housing. What is it specifically? The short-term transitional emergency program. I never remember to expand the acronym. In just 1 year, a lot has happened. We provided more than 4,000 emergency transitional bed experiences, essentially a bed for somebody to sleep in. And for youth experiencing homelessness, this included 77% who identified as queer and transgender people of color. And that's just the beginning. So here's why we're telling you this, because each one of these youth, for each night, costs $135. So it's a chunk, it's a small chunk that's doable, but it's there. And it exceeds and outpaces our funding even through the Cal Office of Emergency Services grant. So help us bridge that gap. Our friends at the Sacramento Kings Foundation have agreed to match up to $25,000, which is a huge amount, for each donation that's made during virtual Pride Awards tonight. So up to $25,000, the Sacramento Kings Foundation will match each of those gifts. This is an amazing opportunity to help the wonderful work that the center does every day for people who need a place to stay and need a place to go. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Natalie. Folks, we see a lot of love for Natalie in the YouTube chat bar. I think Frank Mecca, our board member, said it best. Frank said, "We are in great hands under the leadership of Natalie!" Exclamation mark, and there's a lot of emojis, folks. If you're here, do us a favor. If you want to go into the YouTube chat bar and say hi, and we'll give a lot of love to Natalie and Carlos and David and all the entire Sacramento LGBT Community Center community folks. Now, folks, tonight we're about to get started with our Fund a Need, and it is a true pleasure to let you know during Natalie's video yielded us, folks, thousands of dollars. Yes, thousands of dollars. We had Patricia Rosenbaum come in at $500. We have Paul Reschick at 1,000, Jody Nelson, board member at 1,000, Elaine Verbarg at 1,000. Folks, we've got a lot of money coming in already to our fund to need. If you want to start to donate now, you can. Tonight's about helping STEP in a big way, folks. The fund to need is that first button when you go to the prideawards.ggo.bid. You go right here to that link, and then you scroll to donate to the fund to need. Folks, we've got more coming in. We haven't even started the fund to need, folks. We're making a big difference tonight for our youth and a transitional housing center, folks. So without further ado, it is a true pleasure here to share with you a powerful story from an amazing Joshua that's about to share with you a story about what the Transitional Living Center has done for Joshua, folks. Do us a favor, get ready to start giving to our fund to need, because after we hear Joshua's story, we're going to go, folks. Please enjoy this beautiful story.
I've been in the youth program for about 4.5 months this month. There's about 6 people that live there. I needed housing because my foster mom, she was really big on living by what the Bible book says. It was one Saturday, I heard my mom and dad just arguing. She basically gave him a decision, either choose your gay son or the marriage. And my dad's getting older. He just had a bypass surgery, so he's recovering. He talked to me after they finished talking, saying you have till the end of the month to move out. I understood because he's getting older, he doesn't want to die alone. I didn't know where to go or where to stay. Didn't have a job, I wasn't gonna have my car for long. A stable place is the first, you have to start somewhere. So I went to the LGBT Center and you guys were really fast. In like 2 days, I got into the program, did everything was so fast, so it was kind of like too good to be true. The center has helped a lot, especially like with IDs, jobs. You guys are really on careers. They have a housing program for their youth, homeless youth, or youth that are experiencing homelessness. Everything's going great. I have a lot of money saved from the program because you have to take 75% of your earnings. I have a really great job as well. Shift lead for jump bikes in West Sacramento. I'm very fortunate right now. Living life every day, going to work. At the end of the year, I want 10 grand saved, and I'm literally halfway to my mark, and I'm very good at budgeting. I feel the community should support the youth program because it's already made a change in my life. The 4 months I've been there, I really appreciate that because I had so much support. None of this would have been possible without the support. This resource was here for me. If you're in the age range, do it. Even if it's getting away from abuse at home, you don't feel safe, it's here for you. I wouldn't know that a city this small would really have any resources as good as this. So I'm really grateful to have this space in Sacramento.
And thank you, Joshua, for sharing your story. Folks, that's what tonight's all about. It's about coming together right now to make a big difference for Joshua, folks. So if you want to do us a favor, if you want to go to that link below at prideawards.ggo.bid, and we're going to get started with tonight's fund to need. Now, feel free, folks, when you go to the prideawards.ggo.bid, scroll down to right above the live auction packages, you'll see a button that says Donate to Fund to Need. Click on that button, Donate to Fund to Need, click on that button, and you're going to see a couple different options on the left of dollar amounts to give. We've got $5,000, $2,500, $1,000, $500, $250, $100, and a custom amount. If you click the custom amount, folks, you can give any dollar amount that you'd like. Maybe it's a number, maybe it's 1, 20, maybe it's 60, 70, 80, maybe it's $1 million, folks. You can give any custom amount that you'd like right there. Also, make sure you've registered already. Go to Start Bidding, create account, fill out your credit card information, and start giving, folks. We're going to start our fund to need. We've already got more coming in now. Folks, tonight is about funding the Joshuas. Now, let me tell you about what our special appeal will be fundraising for tonight. Now, our special appeal that you'll see on the screen is we are understanding that in California, there is a staggering 40% of youth experiencing homelessness are LGBTQ. I'm going to say that again. 40% of youth experiencing homelessness are LGBTQ. And tonight, we are celebrating the first anniversary of our 12-bed short-term transitional emergency program. That's right, the STEP program, folks. It provides 90 days of shelter, meals, clothing, transportation, assistance obtaining identification documents, case management, medical and dental health services, and everything to help our youth prepare for transitional living, folks. So you still see on the screen there, folks, tonight it's about helping the Joshuas. And it is a true pleasure to share with you, we have a special announcement, folks. I have a special announcement for you that Natalie already let us know, that the Sacramento Kings are going to match every dollar up to $25,000 tonight, folks. Let's get a lot of love for this, for the Sacramento Kings. They are going to match the first $25,000 in tonight's fundraiser, folks. In our Fund in Need, in our live auction, a lot of love. Yes, Kelsey, I see you. Wow, go Kings. Yes. The Sacramento Kings, we are Sacramento proud, and they are going to match the first $25,000 for the Sacramento LGBT Community Center, folks. A lot of love. Yes, folks, our Fund in Need, we've already got a lot of money coming in. We just received another $1,000 from Charlotte Radmilovich. Charlotte, thank you. Folks, let's start them coming. It is a true pleasure tonight, folks. You can give it any dollar amount that you'd like right now. We're almost at $15,000, folks. And I'm going to let you know something very special about our $1,000 level tonight, folks. You'll see on the screen that our $1,000 level is going to be unbelievable, because what you're going to have the chance to do is anybody tonight that gives $1,000 or more, if that's in the Fund in Need or the live auction, they will get a step. A step will be engraved with their name at the Transitional Housing Center, folks. So yes, anybody tonight that gives $1,000 or more, they will have their name, or it could be in memory of a loved one, a friend. It could be anything, a special message. Folks, everybody tonight that gives $1,000 or more will have a special engraved step for them. So folks, here we go. At any dollar amount that you'd like, right now, let's get started. We've already got almost $15,000. Yes, we've got another one, folks, from Mark Gilroy at $250, folks. Folks, we've got a ton coming in. Let's show a lot of love in the YouTube chat bar for all of our donors, folks. We're almost at $15,000. Tonight's about coming together here to make a big difference, folks. Yes, yes, folks, we've got a ton. Yes, folks, we've got another $1,000, folks, from Matthew Nielsen. Folks, we're almost at $16,000. Folks, the money is coming in. Right now, it's to help the Joshuas, folks. So do us a favor. prideawards.ggo.bid. Let's come together. Let's go for $25,000. Dollar for dollar match from the Sacramento Kings, folks. You can give it any dollar amount that you'd like right now. You can give $100, $250. You can give $500, $750, $1,000. You can give $2,500, $5,000. You can give $10,000. Folks, if we had a $10,000 donor right now, that would be $25,000, folks. So collectively, let's work together. Let's come up $10,000 together right now, folks. If it's a dollar, anyway, anything from $1 to $1 million, maybe $1 billion, folks. We're virtual tonight, so we have no idea who's on here. Jeff Bezos, if you're here, we need some love, Jeff. Here we go, folks. Let's have some fun. We've got more coming in. We got another $100. Yes, we've got $100. Yes, Kelsey, if you want to start us up on the top here. Yes, folks, we've got $1,000 from Matthew Nielsen, $250 from Mark Gilroy, $1,000 from Charlotte Radmilovich, $500 from Patricia Rosenbaum, $1,000 from Paul Reshik, $1,000 from Jody Nielsen, $1,000 from Elaine Verbarg, another $1,000, $100 from Dennis Mangers, another $1,000 from Robert Nielsen and his family with the Sacramento State Stingers Up. Thank you very much for supporting us tonight, Robert, and Sacramento State for all you do as a sponsor tonight. We appreciate it. Folks, we got $100 from Lance. Yes, Kelsey, do me a favor, scroll down. I know. Kelsey, where are we? Folks, we got a ton coming in. We've got Kelsey's managing the greater giving. It's going bonkers right now, folks. She's trying to show me on this screen all the money coming in. Folks, we got Lance at $100, $150 from George Raya. George, thank you for being here and thank you for your gift. Yes, Wendy Jones, Phoenix. Wendy, so good to see you. I hope you're doing well in Santa Cruz right now. Wendy, thank you for your generous gift. We've got $100 from Victoria Brown, $250 from Tim. We've got $250 from Jody Ann Hicks. We've got another $100 from George Raya. Folks, you can give multiple times tonight. We're coming together. Yes, folks, we've got more coming in. All right, we've got another $100 and another $10 and from Laura and $10 from Stana and $50 from Gerald, $100 from Rachel. Folks, let's show a lot of love. We've got a lot more coming in. Yes, 100 from Ronald, 100 from David, 20 from Susan, 10 from Stana, 100 from Joshua, thank you, 200 from Barbara, 50 from Daria, 25 from Daniela, 100 from Michael, 50 from Matthew, 25 from Susan, 25 from Paul. Folks, and we've still got more coming in, folks. Yes, folks, we've got two more at $1,000. Those are two more steps, folks. John Bresson, thank you very much for your $1,000 gift. Matthew Nielsen, thank you very much. Folks, we're at 16,577, folks. Let's come together. We're going to come together. Yes, yes, yes. We've got $100 coming in, folks. We've got $100 coming in from Jackie Faust. We've got $100 from Susan Ramirez. Folks, yes! Woo! We've got more coming in, folks. We've got a ton coming in. Let's come together right now. Folks, this is about Joshua. I want to remind you again, folks, we're having a lot of fun, but remember, tonight we're fundraising for the Sacramento LGBT Community Center to help our youth. Folks, I want to encourage you to keep giving right now, but I want to share with you something from somebody that we all know, Lance. Yes, Lance, I'm talking to you, Lance. Folks, a lot of us saw on Lance's Facebook post last night an amazing story, and that's about what we're fundraising for right now. I'm going to share with you from Lance what he shared last night on his Facebook post. This was the story, folks. Let's continue to give. I'm going to share with you Lance's story. Now, this is Lance here on the screen. You'll see Lance there. Folks, let's give as much as we can. I'm going to share with you Lance's story, and then we're going to wrap up the Fund a Need, folks. Tonight was serendipitous. I'm staying late at the office. This is Lance. I'm socially distanced, mask of course. We all know that this is how Lance would speak. Planning for a virtual gala tomorrow. And the janitor tells me someone outside for an appointment. I run down to inform them that we're closed. They didn't have an appointment. They were a minor, homeless, and trans. Having run away from an abusive family in the Midwest, they now found themselves in Sacramento. Unfortunately, they were too young for our shelters, so Jordan and I tried every way to find an emergency housing tonight. In what is an incredibly rare occurrence, we did, and all because of our friends at Wind Youth Services. Wind Youth Services, thank you. And the advice of our fellow staff, Jesse and Kobe. We got them there, invited them to come back and visit, and they responded with, "No, when I got back on my feet, I want to volunteer. I'm bawling, and even better, they house for now at an agency I respect and love." Folks, that's what tonight's about. We are Joshua's. Folks, we're coming together here. Yes, yes, folks. We've got more gifts coming in, folks. We're getting real close to that $25,000. Yes, yes, thank you. Barbara Brass, another $1,000. Barbara, thank you very much. That's another step. Barbara, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Barbara. George Raya, another $100 again. George has been giving all night his $100. Thank you very much, George. We appreciate it. Patrick Mullen at $100. Thank you very much, Patrick. We appreciate it. Folks, we're coming together now in a big way. We're coming together here to make a big difference in tonight's Fund a Need. I'm going to let you know that our Fund a Need is going to stay open now, folks. I'm going to come back and revisit our Fund a Need throughout the night. But I'm going to get us moving on to our live auction here shortly, folks. So do us a favor, if you want to continue to give to our Fund a Need, we're going to keep fundraising all night long in our Fund a Need. Go to prideawards.ggo.bid to give to our Fund a Need. But if you can do us a favor now, folks, we're going to move back to our live auction. So do me a favor, if you can click the back button, and then go back to the homepage of prideawards.ggo.bid. Go to the homepage there. You're going to see all of our live auction items on the homepage. And folks, we're going to get started in a fun way virtually right now. Remember, we're all fundraising every dollar tonight for the Joshuas. Folks, we're coming together right now. We're going to get started with our first live auction package. So if you're at home, do me a favor, start bidding on all of our live auction packages because these are going to all sell in about 60 seconds. We're going to go super fast, folks. So make sure you bid right away. There might be a little delay because we're on YouTube and there's a couple second delay. But if you want to bid right away. You can set up a max bid if you'd like so that you can set that bid and forget it and it'll keep bidding to that level, folks. So here we go. We're going to start with our first live auction item. Let me tell you about this first live auction item. Folks, this is a Magnum wine experience with Patrick Harbison and Harbison Wines. You'll enjoy selections of wine and take home a Magnum. This will be a memorable, one-of-a-kind experience with the Patrick Harbison and Harbison Wines, folks. Let's have some fun. You're going to have an amazing party with Patrick. We all know he's an amazing host. Folks, let's have some fun. Let's bid it up. I've currently got Jody and Hicks at $500. Glenda, you've been outbid at $400. I'm wondering if anybody wants to go in at $600. I've got $500 with Jody. I'm looking for $600 on the Magnum of champagne. The Magnum of wine. Patrick might throw in some champagne. We all know Patrick's going to throw in something extra special, guys. Here we go. Looking for $600. We've got Jody at $500. If you want to bid now. We're going to close it here in about 30 seconds. I've got Jody here. I'm looking for anybody that wants to come in and bid at $600. We've got Jody here at $500. We're going to close it here in 15 seconds. Folks, these are going to sell fast. So if you want one of those other yes! Charlotte Radmilovich came in at $600. Jody, I know you're waiting for it, Jody. Let's have some fun. We got $600 with Charlotte. Jody, I'm looking for you. Want to come in at $700. Maybe Glenda wants to come in at $700. I've got Charlotte $600. We're going to close it in 10 seconds. Charlotte, get ready because you might get outbid by Jody here. Jody, I'm seeing if Glenda or Jody wants to come in or maybe somebody else wants to slide in there, folks. Do us a favor. We don't want any last minute bids because there might be a delay. So if you want it, bid now. Don't wait till the very end. There might be a delay and I might close it early. So folks, here we go. We're going to close it in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's almost going to close. I've got Charlotte here at $600, seeing if Jody wants to come in at $700. Charlotte came in for the steal. I'm going to close it very, very shortly. Folks, a Magnum of wine, Harbison Wines, and a party that will be memorable forever. Jody, I'm going to give you one last chance. Here it is. We're about to close it. It is going to now close. Congratulations, folks. We're fundraising every dollar tonight. It is now closed. Thank you so much for all of your generous bidding. We appreciate it, folks. Wow. Let's show a lot of love for all of our folks in the YouTube chat bar that have been bidding. Now, folks, I want you to do me a favor. If you need to, make sure you're at prideawards.ggo.bid. We're going to move on to our next live auction package, folks. Now, let me tell you about our next live auction package. It is a booze cruise for $5. A booze cruise for $5. Enjoy a beautiful day on the Sacramento River with a 4-course brunch with mimosas on this extravagantly amazing Christ Craft yacht. Folks, you're going to have a booze cruise for $5 with brunch, with mimosas. Folks, this is going to be a lot of fun. If you want to bid, click that now. We're going to close it here in about 45 seconds. I've currently got Frank Mecca, our board member, been generously donating all night. Frank's currently at $600. George Raya, I'm wondering if you want to come in at $700. Maybe Glenda wants to come in at $700. We're going to close it in 30 seconds, folks. Yes, Lance, I see you. OMG, thank you, Jason and Andrew. Yes, David, I just got a call from amazing friend Jason and his husband Andrew, who is sending us a $5,000 check. Who can join him? Thank you so much. Folks, I got to look more at this YouTube chat bar. David, thank you so much for sharing that, David. Folks, David, I might say Jason's last name wrong. I'm going to do my very best. Jason Ocklare and his husband Andrew are going to go $500, folks. I mean, not $500, $5,000 Thank you, David, for sharing that. Jason, thank you very much. And your husband, Andrew, thank you. Jason and Andrew, that's a huge gift, folks. Let's give a lot of love to Jason and Andrew for that $5,000 gift, folks. Thank you. Folks, all right, let's go back to our bidding here. We've got our bidding on the booze cruise. Victoria Brown, she's got it at $800. She's bid, yes, Frank's at $900. Victoria, let's go back at $1,000. I've got Frank Mecca at $900. Let's go on a booze cruise, Victoria, for 5 people. We're going to close it here in 10 seconds. 9, 8, Frank's currently got it at $900. Victoria, I know you want it. I'm looking for $1,000, Victoria. It's going to be brunch, mimosas, and it's going to be a lot of fun on a yacht on the Sacramento River. Yes! Woo! We got Victoria Brown at $1,000. Frank, let's have some fun. Frank, I'm back to you. I'm looking for $1,100. I've got $1,000 with Victoria Brown. Frank, let's go $1,100. Frank, yes! Woo! We got Frank at $1,100. Victoria, let's go 12. I'm looking for $1,200. Victoria, I've got $1,100 on this couch with Frank, and I'm looking for $1,200 on this couch with Victoria. I've got $1,100 with Frank. It's a booze cruise for 5. Folks, every dollar tonight coming together to have some fun and make a big difference. Victoria, you want to come in at $1,200? Yes! We got Victoria Brown at $1,200. Frank, let's go 13. This is a lot of fun. Let's cheer these folks on, folks, in the YouTube chat bar. Do us a favor. Let's cheer on Frank and Victoria. Victoria Brown's currently at $1,200. Frank Mecca, I'm looking for 13. Frank, let's try 13. I'm going to sell it here in 5 seconds. In 4, in 3. Yes! Woo! We got Frank. Victoria, I'm looking for $1,400. We've got Frank at 13. Victoria at $1,400. It's $100 more, Victoria. 100. Yes! Woo! We got 14, Victoria. Frank, let's go another $100. Yes! Frank's at 15. Victoria, let's go. Victoria, I'm looking for $1,600. Folks, this is a lot of fun. Victoria, I'm looking for $1,600. Frank's at 15. You gotta hurry if you want it. I'm gonna sell it in 3. I'm gonna sell it in 2. Victoria, this is your last chance. Victoria, I've got Frank at 15. Victoria, a booze cruise for 5 on the Sacramento River. Yes! We got Victoria at 16. Frank, let's go $1,700. Frank, it's like we're home. It's like we're in person. Frank, I'm looking for $1,700. We're having fun, Frank. It's $100 more. Booze cruise for 5 people on an amazing yacht. We've got $1,600 with Victoria Brown. I'm going to sell it, Frank, in 2, in 1. Frank, I'm going to close it here. If you want it, you got to bid right now, Frank. Right now, I'm going to close it here, Frank. We got to move on. Frank, I'm looking for $1,700. I've got 16 with Victoria. Victoria, if you want it, you got to make sure you bid right away because I'm going to close it here real shortly. Frank, looking for 17. Last call. Going to close it. Going to close it here real soon. Going to close it, Frank. Last chance. Woo! All right. We are going to now. Frank came in at the last second. Yes! Frank's at 17. Victoria, I'm looking for $1,800. This is the last second. If you want it, you got to bid right away. Right away, Victoria. Right away. If you want it, I have to close it, Victoria. And we're virtual. We're not in person. So if you raise at the last second, I might not see it. Victoria, last call. $1,800. Last call. $1,800. Last call. I've got to sell it, Victoria. We got to move on. Last call. Going once. Going twice. It is going to now. I'm dragging it, folks. It is going. Yes! We got 18 with Victoria. Frank, you gotta hurry, Frank. I have to sell it. Folks, every $100 tonight is making a big difference. Yes! Victoria's at 18. Last chance, Frank. Last chance, Frank. I gotta sell it, Frank. Hurry. We gotta go, Frank. We gotta go. Every dollar tonight counts, Frank. Last chance. I'm gonna sell it. Here it is. I have to sell it now, Frank. Here it is. Right now, Frank. I'm gonna close it. Frank, it is now closed. It is now closed. I gotta move on, Frank. You might have came in at the last second. Wow. That was a lot of fun, folks. Give yourselves a huge round of applause at home. Let's give a lot of love for Victoria Brown, Frank Mecca. Folks, they bid each other up, and they made a big difference. Folks, that's another $1,000 there, over $1,800. That's huge, folks. Wow. Here we go. We got to move on, folks. Our next live auction package. Here it is. That was a lot of fun, folks. Let me grab some water real quick. Woo! We're going to that was a lot of fun. Here's my big jug of water, folks. Okay, here we go. Our next live auction package. Woo! Folks, if you've learned anything from virtual live auction bidding, you gotta bid right away, folks. But I'm not gonna leave any dollar on the table. Here we go. Our next live auction package. If you want it, you gotta start bidding right now for the Drewski's catered party for 25. Folks, do us a favor, go to prideawards.ggo.bid. Go down to the homepage, click on Drewski's Party for 25. We're bidding on it now. Todd, you've already been outbid, Todd. Michelle, you've been outbid. I've got Daria currently at 600. I'm gonna tell you about Drewski's, folks. Start bidding now, and we're gonna sell it here shortly. Drewski's Catered Party for 25. Choose your own menu from Drewski's and become the hostess with the mostest. You will be the entertainer of the year because Drewski's always does it big. Devour the barbecued pulled pork sandwiches, the Shelby burger with extra bacon, or the renowned garlic tots. You'll top it off with 2 cases of upstream wines. Folks, here we go. It's Drewski's catered party for 25. You could have pulled pork. You can choose your own food that you like, folks. We love Drewski's. They've been helping us out for many years with the Sacramento LGBT Community Center. Let's have some fun. Let's bid it up. Here we go, folks. I've currently got it at 600 with Daria McGrew. Todd Kulakin, I'm looking for you, Todd. Let's go 700, Todd. I know you're on there, Todd. Let's give Todd a lot of love. Todd's been with the Sacramento Children's Home for many, many years. An amazing, amazing person in our community and board member with Sacramento LGBT Community Center. Folks, a lot of love for Todd. I'm talking you up, Todd, because I'm looking for 700. I've got 600 with Daria. I'm going to sell it here in 30 seconds. I'm going to sell it in 29, 28, 27. Skip a few. We're at 20 seconds. 19, 18. Skip a few. We're at 10 seconds. Folks, I can talk fast and we can count down quick. Daria currently at 600. I'm looking for 700. Folks, if you want to bid, yes. If you want to bid, folks, here we go. I'm going to check on our YouTube chat bar. We've got a lot of love coming in from David. Here we are. David, yes. Thank you, Laura. Yes. Lance, I see you. Hydrate. Yes, I know. Jordan, OMG, this is a great opportunity. Yes, I've got 600 with Daria, looking for 700. Now I've got David here. Yes, Miss Debbie Roth, thank you for so much for your donation. Jordan Blue, go Todd. Natalie, our incoming board president came in at 700. Daria, Todd, Michelle, if you want it, it's 800 right now. I'm going to sell it in 10 seconds. Natalie came in for the steal. I've got 700 with Natalie, our incoming board president. We heard from her already. I'm looking for 800. I got to sell it here. I'm going to sell it in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go, folks. Daria, if you want it, you got to come in real quick here. Yes. Thank you, Mark Gilroy, for your donation. Yes, Paul Webb came in at 800. Natalie, I'm looking for 900. Natalie, it's going back. We're making a big difference here. Natalie, let's go, 900. Let's hurry, folks. We've got to sell this one fast. Let's go. Natalie, this is a steal. 25 people. Barbecued pulled pork. You're going to have the Shelby burger, the garlic tots. I've got Paul at 800. Natalie, Daria, Todd, Michelle. I'm looking for 900. I've got Paul for 800. How about 9? Looking for 900. I got to sell it, folks. We're going to sell it in 3, 2, 1. It's almost going to sell. I've got Paul at 800. Last chance, folks. I got to sell it. We got to move on. I've got 800 with Paul. Natalie, if you want it, you got to come in for 900 right now. Yes. Lance just said, hey, Paul. Lance, I love you, Lance. Natalie, I'm looking for 900. This is your last chance, Natalie. Yes! Natalie came in at 900. Paul, let's go 1,000. It's $100 more. Here we go. Paul, $1,000. I got to sell it, Paul. If Natalie or Paul, if you want it, you need to click right away. You got to click right away as soon as you miss it on your end. We got to go. Natalie, I got 900. Paul, I'm looking for 1,000. Last chance, Paul. I got to sell it here, Paul. Paul, here we go. $100 more. $100 more. We're looking for it. Paul, I'm going to hang on here for just a second. Whew. Paul, if you're thinking about it, this is it. Lance just said these are redeemable. once we are able to sold. Laura Kasich came in at $1,000. Laura, Paul's at 1,100. Paul knows what to do. Paul, you just keep clicking that thing in case you get outbid. Laura, I'm looking for 1,200. Natalie, I'm back to you. Yes, Laura's at 1,200. Paul, if you want it, you got to click right away. I've got 1,200 with Laura. Paul, well, I know this is some of our first time on virtual and we're learning in the process. We got to click right away. Paul, if you want it at 1,300, you've been outbid. Laura's at 1,200. Yes, Jackie, they did our company party and it was so good. Folks, we love Drewskis. Here we go. I've got 1,200 with Laura. Paul, this is your last chance. If you want it, I know you've been clicking right away. You got to click now. Paul, if you want it for 1,300. I've got Laura at 1,200. Don't want to leave any dollars there, but we're virtual. We're working together here, folks. We got to move on. Paul, I'm looking for 13. Last call, Paul. Last call. I've got 1,200 with Laura. Last call. I'm going to close it right here. Paul, if you want it, I'm closing it real quick. Right here, Paul. Hurry, hurry, hurry. It is now. It is now. I'm going to now close. It is now closed. Paul, I don't know if you squeaked in there in the last second with the time delay. Laura, I did my best. We got to now close it. We're going to move on to the next live auction package. Wow. Wow. Folks, this is fun. And we're fundraising. We're fundraising to make a big difference for the Sacramento LGBT Community Center, folks, and Joshua. We're coming together. Folks, we're going to move on to our next package. If you want the Mexico package, you know what to do. You got to start bidding right now, folks. I'm going to describe the item, and I got to sell it in a minute because we got to move on. Folks, we want to hear from some amazing folks. If you want Mexico package, you can go to Cabo, Cancun. Let me tell you a little bit about Mexico. Folks, here we go. The Mexico package is absolutely amazing. Mexico is 5 days, 4 nights in Mexico for 2. I've currently got Jody Ann Hicks at 700. Folks, let me tell you about Mexico. You'll stay at your choice of Cabo San Lucas, Acapulco, Nueva Vallarta, or Cancun. You'll enjoy 4 or 5-star resorts on the water with breathtaking views of world-class service. Folks, that's 5 days and 4 nights in Mexico for 2, and you get your choice of Cabo, Acapulco, Nueva Vallarta, or Cancun. Folks, you're gonna stay on the beach. I've heard of donors that have taken this package and they've absolutely loved it. It's a phenomenal package, folks, and it's a time for us to get away. Folks, let's have some fun. Let's bid it up. I've got Jody at 700. Eugene, you've been outbid. I'm looking for 800. Eugene, if you'd like to come in. Maybe Paul wants to go to Mexico. I don't know. Maybe Todd can try Mexico. I'm not sure. Folks, if you want to start planning, here's what I know. This will be valid for at least a year. And what I know is our donors will do their very best to extend this. We're in COVID right now. We want to make sure everybody gets their opportunity to go if they want. Jody, I've got you at 700. I'm looking for 800. Yes, David. David just said, I was just in Mexico, totally safe, totally warm, plenty of space. It's lovely. Paul came in at 800. Jody, Paul, I love you, Paul. You've been bidding all night. You've been amazing. Let's give a lot of love for Paul. Been bidding all night. Here we go. Jody, let's go 900. Eugene, maybe 900. Jody, I'm looking for 900, 5 days, 4 nights. Here we go. We're not even at $200 a night, and you're on the water. David just said Mexico was amazing. Here we go, folks. Does it include airfare, Jackie? No, it does not include airfare. That is a great question, Jackie. It does not include airfare. But you get 5 days, 4 nights on the beach. Folks, it is a 4 or 5-star resort at Cabo, Cancun, Acapulco, Nueva Vallarta. I'm looking for $900, folks. If we can get to that $1,000 level here, that would be another step, folks, another step. I'm looking for 900. Yes, we got Eugene at 900. Paul, you know what to do. One more click, we get to 1,000, and that's another step. Paul, I'm looking for $1,000. I've got Eugene at 900. Paul, I'm looking for 1,000. Jody, maybe you want to come in for the steal at 1,000. Paul, one more $100. That's another step. Paul, we can give you the whole staircase, Paul. Here it is. Paul, I'm looking for one more 100. We've got Eugene. Eugene, if you want it, you got to click right away because I got a feeling Paul's coming in at 1,000. Eugene, here we go. 5 days, 4 nights. Paul, you're still at $200 a night if you come in at 1,000. Here we go. Actually, a little more than 200, but it's pretty close. Here we go. Paul, I'm looking for you. Paul, last year. Yes! Paul came in at 1,000. Paul, Roger, yes. Paul Rogers came in at 1,000. Eugene, I'm looking for you at 1,100. I've got our Paul Roger Villaluz. Folks, here we go. Eugene, Paul, I'm looking for you at 1,100. I've got Paul here at 1,000. I'm looking for Eugene, Paul. Yes, I'm looking for 1,100. 1,100. Lance. Lance, Jackie, I love you, Jackie. Jackie just said, Lance, you buy it, I buy the airfare. Folks, you can work together here. You can work together here. Jackie and Lance might go together. Lance just said, LOL, LOL. Folks, we're having fun. I'm looking for $1,100. Last call. We got to move on. Last call. Gonna sell it here. Last call. Here's what we can do, folks. Here's what we can do. I can sell as many of just this one. This is the only one tonight. I can sell as many of these as we want tonight. So folks, if you want it, Eugene, Paul, Jackie, maybe Lance, you guys can come together. I'm going to give you the option right now that you can buy as many of these you like. Lance is going to upload this. I'm going to sell it here for $1,000 to our Paul Roger Villaluz. That's $1,000, folks. If you want the Mexico package, you can buy it for $1,000 right here tonight. Just go up and find Mexico or call the line, talk to Lance. If you want it, folks, you can do it. Here we go. Woo! Let's move on to our next package, folks. We got to move on. Here it is. We've only got a few left. Here we go, folks. We've got, if you want to be bidding, folks, I would encourage you to start bidding on either the Botox Bonanza, the Pride Awards VIP Table 2021, or the Getaway at the Kimpton. But we're going to get started with the Botox. Folks, here we go. George, I love you, George. You're currently at 700, George. Frank, let's have some fun, Frank. Let's go back and forth. George, Frank, the whole way. Folks, this is unbelievable. Let me tell you about this Botox Bonanza package, folks. You and your friends, or give it as a gift, the lucky winner will receive 100 injections of Botox courtesy of Jeffrey's Sweat Plastic Surgery with personalized consultation. Folks, a lot of love for Jeffrey's Sweat Plastic Surgery donating this package. 100 injections of Botox. Let's have some fun, folks. Let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's cheer them on in the YouTube chat bar, folks. We're fundraising a lot of money tonight, folks. Let's remember why we're here one more time. We're fundraising here to make a big difference for the Joshuas, for the STEP program, folks, for everything that we shared, folks. We've currently got George at 700. Frank, I'm looking for you at 800. If you want to go, you got to go right away. I'm going to sell this one in 20 seconds. 1918. Frank, if you want to come in, it's $100, Frank. Well, actually, it's $100 on top of 700, so that makes it $800. But Frank, if you want to come in, that's 100 Botox injections. You can have them. You can give them to George if you like, or you can give them to a friend. Folks, Frank, I'm looking for you at 800. I've got George at 700. Folks, here we go. Botox, 100 injections. Have some fun, folks. Frank, I'm looking for you. Woo! Yes, Frank's at 800. George, you know what to do right away. George, if you want it, you got to click right away. I've got 800 with Frank. George, let's go. Yeah, George is there. I've got 900 with George. Frank, let's go 1,000. I've got 9 with George. How about 1,000, Frank? I'm looking for 1,000, Frank. I've got 900 with George. Frank, let's go $1,000. I've got 9 with George. How about 1,000, Frank? Yes, yes, yes. He's thinking about it. I'm looking for $1,000, Frank. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We got to click. We got to click. Woo! Eugene. Lance, you have another Mexico trip? Yes, we do. Eugene, we can sell you another Mexico trip for $1,000 if you'd like it. Just talk to Lance. He'll take care of you. Frank, I'm looking for $1,000. I got to sell this package. Yes, Frank! Yes, yes, Frank! Yes, Frank! Yes! George, let's go 1,100, George. Let's go 11, George. I've got 1,000 with Frank. 11, George. I'm looking for you, George. Yes, George at 11. Frank at 12. Do you want to go? We got to go right away. George, 12. Frank, I'm looking for $1,200. I've got 11 with George. Frank, I'm looking for 1,200. Frank, 1,200. Last call. Yes, Frank. Kelsey's cheering you on. Yes, Frank. Get the Botox. She's cheering you on, Frank. I'm looking for 1,200, Frank. 1,200, Frank. Last call. I got to sell it, Frank. We got to move on. Frank. Yes, Frank came in. Yes, yes, yes. Frank, we got 12. George, 13. We're fundraising. We're making a big difference tonight, folks, for the Sacramento LGBT Community Center. George. Yes, George. Yes, 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 yes. We got George at 13. Frank, let's go 1,400. Frank, I'm looking for 1,400. I've got 13 with George, 14, Frank. Woo! I got to take a breather, folks. My bow tie might be all over. Frank, I'm looking for 14, Frank. Last chance, Frank. I've got 13 with George. Frank, I'm looking for 1,400. We're fundraising tonight, making a big difference. Folks, I probably got sweat all over me, but folks, it's all for the Joshuas, for the Yes, Frank! Yes, Frank, you did it, Frank! A lot of love for Frank. George, back at 15. I'm looking for 15. Throw me that, Kelsey. Yeah, appreciate it. Woo! We got towels coming in here, folks. Yes, Frank's. George is at 1,500. Yes, George. Yes, George. Yes. Frank, let's go 1,600, Frank. Come on, Frank. Here we go. Last chance. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to almost close it, Frank. I'm looking for 1,600. Wow. Frank, it's $100 more, Frank. Here we go. Frank, we're looking for 1,600. I've got 15 with George. I'm looking for 16, Frank. Last call. I got to sell it, Frank. Frank, I'm looking for 1,600. We're fundraising a lot tonight. Yeah, I got 15 with George. Frank, last call. Frank, last call. Last chance. I've got 15 with George. That's Botox, 100 injections. Frank, I'm going to sell it here right now, Frank. This is it. Last chance. I got to sell it. OMG. Yas, Frank. Lance is cheering you on. Folks, I got to sell it. Here it is. It's hard with us virtually, but we're having a lot of fun. Folks, you have been so generous tonight. Thank you. I'm confident that with that $5,000 gift from Jason and Andrew, I know we're already surpassed $25,000, folks. We've surpassed it in a big way. Thank you to the Sacramento Kings for that $25,000 match. Folks, we're fundraising a lot of money right now for the Sacramento LGBT Community Center for all the Joshuas tonight. Frank, last call. I got to close it. It is going to now close. It is now closed. Wow. Let's get a lot of love for George and Frank. They bid each other up, folks, and that was a lot of fun. All right. We've got 2 final packages, folks. 2 final packages. Here it is. I've got the last one. If you want to bid on these last ones, I got to sell it quick, folks, because we've got some amazing awards to share, folks. Here it is. These last 2, we're going to go super quick. Let me tell you about this next package. We've got Pride Awards VIP Table 2021. See and be seen. Be the talk of the event with this exclusive and prominent table for 10 with your own staff, including bottle service, your own dessert cart, and surprise party favors. Folks, Pride Awards VIP Table 2021. Folks, this will be a party, and trust me, we know the LGBT Community Center, we know Lance, they're gonna do a really good job to help make this an unbelievable, unforgettable experience, folks. VIP table at Pride Awards 2021. Hopefully, folks, let's hopefully know that we will have it in person for 2021. If you want this package, do us a favor, start clicking on it now, folks. We're gonna sell it real quick. I've currently got it at 600 with Todd Kulakin. Folks, I got Todd at 600. Holly Wong, it's so good to see you, Holly Wong. Such an amazing community advocate in our Sacramento region. Holly, I'm looking for 700. If you want it and you're on the call, let's go, Holly. I've got 600 with Todd. I'm looking for 700. Holly Wong, looking for 700. Yes, Pride Awards 2021, Jordan Blue. Folks, we know Pride Awards 2021, when we all come together again, is going to be an absolute blast, and we're going to celebrate really, really good. Folks, we're going to celebrate really good for 2021 when we're all back together. Folks, thank you so much for being here tonight. Folks, we've got some amazing awards. I'm going to close this one real quick here in 10 seconds because we got to move on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Natalie just came in for the steal. I got to sell it, folks. I can't go too long here. I've got Natalie with 700. I'm going to sell it in 3, in 2, in 1. Last call, folks. I'm going to give you one last call. Natalie just came in for the steal at $700, folks. If we can get it up, we'll see. We'll give it one more chance, folks. One more chance. Natalie's currently at 700, our incoming board president. Absolutely amazing. I got a chance to talk with her the other day. Folks, just like Frank said, you're in really good hands with Natalie. And folks, a lot of love for Carlos. A lot of love for Carlos, our outgoing board president. So much love for Carlos. So much love for Natalie. Todd, Holly, I'm seeing if you want to have some fun and bid Natalie up. I'm looking for $800. I got 700 with Natalie. Last call. Last call. Here it is, folks. Yes, Victoria Brown. Thanks, David. I can connect you. Paul, your amazing donation. Natalie, I'm going to sell it to you here. If Todd or Holly wants to come in 3, 2, 1, it is now closed. We have closed that package. Natalie, congratulations. Here we go, folks. We're going to sell our last package. That's the Kempton Sawyer Hotel. Here it is. Our last package. Let me tell you about this one, folks. It is a getaway at the Kempton. Enjoy a 2-night stay at the Kempton Sawyer Hotel. Enjoy the rooftop pool with a case of wine from Upstream Winery, folks. Our amazing sponsor tonight, Upstream Winery. Could be a romantic staycation or amazing gift for your friends from out of town. Imagine the possibilities, folks. A 2-night stay at the Kempton Sawyer Hotel, folks. If you want it, you got to bid right away because we want to hear from our amazing speakers tonight, folks. Some amazing awards that we're going to go to right here, folks. I've currently got George at $650. Miss Amanda Gilbert, I know you were trying to bid earlier in the Facebook. You and I had a quick chat. Amanda, I'm going to see if you want to come in at the next bid. I've got George at $650. Matthew Nielsen, you started us off. I'm wondering if you want to come in here. I've got George at $650. Our next bid, we're looking for $750, folks. I've got to sell it here. It's a 2-night stay. We're already doing really well. Hoping this last auction will keep me on my toes. Kelsey's having a lot of fun, folks. George, I've got you at $650. This is the last chance. I got to sell it in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. I've got to sell it right now. Amanda Gilbert, if you want to come in, your last chance. George has currently got it at $650. Frank, maybe Frank will want to come back in on this one. Maybe Frank wants to come in. Maybe David, maybe Holly, maybe Todd. I don't know. Maybe Paul wants to come in. Folks, if you want to get a steal on George, I'm looking for one bid over $650. I'm looking for $750. Last call. I'm going to sell it right here. Folks, I'm going to sell it right here. Folks, give yourselves a round of applause. You've been a sincere joy tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure to have some fun with you. Folks, let's now close. We have closed that package. Congratulations. We appreciate it. Folks, thank you so very much for all of your bidding. Let's do a quick check on our fund to need real quick. We're going to look at our fund to need and see where it currently is. Folks, I just got word that we have way more than surpassed our $25,000 matching gift, folks. Let's get a lot of love for the Sacramento Kings and, folks, for everybody tonight that's come together in a big way. If you want to give, you can continue to give. If anybody gives $1,000 or more tonight, you will have a step named after you. Wow, folks. Wow. All right. Folks, Pride Awards happens because of amazing people that do amazing things in our community. And please enjoy David as David shares a little bit about our first Pride Award winner. Please enjoy.
Each year, the Center's Pride Awards recognize individuals and organizations whose compassion, innovation, generosity, and community service create safer, more welcoming, and collaborative and just communities. Award recipients demonstrate their pride both in their work and in the way they live their lives every day. This year's recipients are prime examples of outstanding LGBTQ community members and allies that have dedicated their passion to serving our region's most vulnerable communities and supporting the next generation of advocates. Robin Rose Hamer is the Executive Director of Wind Youth Services, a good friend, a trusted partner in our shared work to end youth homelessness and achieve justice for all in Sacramento. As a queer woman and advocate, she believes there is a place for everyone in our community. We just have to do the work to find out where. Her sensitivity to the unique needs of youth fuels her passion, even when she's exhausted, like so many of us are every day. Her greatest hope for the LGBTQ community is that we can live authentically together, and that everyone can genuinely show up in the world as themselves, feeling loved and supported as who they were always meant to be. Robin recently reminded me of a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." And it is with great pleasure and pride that I introduce Pride Award recipient and my good friend, Robin Rose Hamer.
Thank you, David. Folks, let's show Robin a lot of love in the YouTube chat bar. I've seen Robin already on the YouTube chat bar with Wind Youth Services. Let's blow up the YouTube chat bar in a really positive way right now as we hear Robin's brief, inspiring remarks. Please enjoy.
Thank you to the SAC LGBT Center. Your work in the community is so important, and I am grateful for your Herculean efforts to build community. I'd like to acknowledge my leadership team at WIND, in particular Satania Lopez and my former colleague Peter Bell, and from Goodwill, my colleagues Richard Abruzzi and Rachel Wicklund-Bereza. Shout out to my NELP family and love to the best class ever, Class 6. Finally, much love to the 9 for my doctoral cohort. It is with deep appreciation that I accept this award, and I do so knowing that I stand on the shoulders of giants. This work is so very hard and complicated. Being a nonprofit leader, a Black woman, a student, a teacher, half of a couple, a mentor, a friend, a follower, and a leader, this life is exhausting. It has been an awesome and inspiring journey that doesn't end until we end youth homelessness. I try to work myself out of a job every single day. I work in hopes of creating a program, an opportunity, a connection for young people that sparks them to embrace life and live self-actualized, self-determined, and deliberately. I am so grateful for this honor. It is a reminder that our sharp focus and determined work is not in vain. Thank you.
Folks, a lot of love for Robin. Folks, we see a lot of love. Yes, congrats, Robin. NELP Class 6, yes. David, we love you, Robin. Kelsey, thank you, Robin. Stacy Walls, much love to you, David. Such great work. A lot of love for Robin from Jordan and Frank and Matthew and Rhonda. Folks, thank you, Rhonda. Remember that story we shared from Lance about what Wind Youth Services is doing every single day in our community. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Wind Youth Services. Now, please enjoy David as David shares our next award recipient.
Our next award recipient is the Executive Director of Meals on Wheels, which provides more than 2,000 nutritious meals to seniors each day. Kevin McAllister first became acquainted with the center as a member of our youth group, at a time when he'd been kicked out of his home after coming out to his biological father. At the age of 18, he wrote his first grant proposal under the tutelage of his AmeriCorps mentor, who had taken him in when he had no place to go. His life's work has centered on connecting those from marginalized backgrounds with the resources they need to survive and thrive. As a Black queer man, his personal experiences with racism and marginalization have informed his work to aid victims of abuse, and his advocacy with the California Coalition of Youth resulted in $10 million in additional funding being allocated to ensure that youth experiencing homelessness around the state had access to shelter, clothing, food, counseling, and transportation. Kevin's greatest hope for the LGBTQ community continues to be one that lifts one another up throughout the COVID pandemic. And he believes the most important thing each of us can do as a leader in this movement for equity and justice is to use our positionality to make systemic change happen in the workplace, healthcare, education, and beyond. With great appreciation for his service to the community, we welcome Pride Award recipient and friend, Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, excited to accept the 2020 Pride Award. Over on my way here, I was thinking of really funny things to say and thinking, would I give a quote or just tell a story? And so I stopped by the old center just to take a few minutes to reflect. And so many great memories came flooding back to me about the center. 20 years ago, I used to attend youth group, Friday youth group at the center. And at that time, I met some of my closest friends. Every Friday we went and had a great discussion led by amazing facilitators. And then we made our way over to New Helvetia for coffee and other things that I won't say because facilitators are probably watching. And that's where I went after 9/11 to be surrounded by close friends. That's where I had my first kiss, was at the center. And that's also where I gave the key to my heart to my first love. So the center is a magical, important, and place for me. And it's so awesome to kind of circle back 20 years later and accept an award from an organization that really helped me get where I am today. I'm the leader that I am today because of the mentorship that I received at the center, Shout out to Emily, to Lawrence, Steve, Lance, and a few others. Again, it's been 20 years, so I can't remember everyone's name, but you all made an impact on me, and I really appreciate the time that you all took to mentor me and show me the love and support I needed in my teenage years. Just in closing, please give to the center so that they can continue to do this incredible work. Probably shouldn't say that as an executive director of a neighboring organization with my board watching, but you could cut that part out. No, I really appreciate the center and all that you all do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Folks, a lot of love for Kevin in the YouTube chat bar, folks. Yes, Kevin, we see a lot of love from David, Kelsey, Angel, Carl, Rhonda, Matthew, Jordan, Lance, Charlotte, Robin, Victoria, Timothy, Kelsey. So much love for Kevin, folks. And it is a true pleasure to let you know that Tim Kamer-Mayer just came into our Fund to Need and donated another generous $500, folks. Our Fund to Need is still alive. And Kevin, let's show a lot of love for Robin, for Kevin. Now, David, please share with us our next two award recipients with the Stonewall.
These next two individuals represent the Stonewall Foundation of Greater Sacramento, whose work funds scholarships to support students working to increase LGBTQ equity and representation in civic affairs. The foundation was envisioned to expand our common cause and work in alliance with the community partners to advance the civil rights of LGBTQ individuals and their families. Since it was established in 2016, the foundation has funded CSU scholarships, sponsored student leadership conferences in local school districts, and partnered with the center to fund high school internships through the city's 1,000 Strong initiative. The foundation believes that whatever background or means one has, true advocates share a passion and commitment to empower our community to advance justice. It is my great pleasure to introduce our friends and foundation board members, Tim Kamer-Mayer and Charlene Jones.
It is such a pleasure to send greetings and gratitude to all of you and to say I am honored, and so to be recognized tonight is an understatement. An understatement because I'm completely stunned by my selection as a recipient for this year's Pride Awards. I send my heartfelt appreciation to the center, its cohorts, my cohorts, and my cohorts. Receiving something like this forces me to reflect, certainly, give me pause, whether it was advocating with colleagues with disabilities, producing the LGBTQ Legends of Courage project, co-founding Stonewall Foundation, or just having fun with my queer voice on the community radio program. It all just seemed the right thing to do. So I'm stunned, and I'm stunned most notably because we are nearing our 4th month since taking to the streets en masse in the aftermath of the murder of another Black man, with so many more men, women, and our transgender siblings brutalized and killed. But we're uplifted because there are so many others doing so much more to lead us to resurrect and restructure our social, economic, and political spheres. And we are nearing the 5th and most precarious month of health, safety, and sickness in our communities. But there are so many others doing so much more to provide care and service to us all at such great risk. In these momentous times, I'm witness to their work and reminded of much larger struggles, the most extraordinary sacrifices. They are to be recognized, those that we know of and those that are unsung. So each of you, all of us, are living stories that must point the way and the pathways and strength to a better world for the many, not just the few. I sincerely thank you so much and ask that you do what you can, as reflected in the center's very own mission, to support the most disregarded and dismissed and insist on equality and justice for our LGBTQ plus family and its many, many intersections. And please listen, learn, step in when needed, and suffer no fools when it comes to the status quo. Thank you. Be well.
Good evening. I want to start by saying thank you to Natalie, David, the board, the selections committee, and everyone that has supported me in my journey along the way. 10 years ago, I joined the LGBT Community Center, the Rainbow Chamber, and the Stonewall Club because I had been told that an ally was more than someone who vocally supported the organization and the community. It was someone who did action. That resonated with me. And so when I joined the Stonewall Club, my goal was focused on increasing not only advocacy opportunities, but increasing rights, such as pushing for the FAIR Act implementation across school districts. What I found 5 years ago, however, was while I was effective, it's more effective when the community speaks for themselves. Allies should not be the ones carrying the vocal banner. We should be the ones supporting, empowering, and propping up behind the scenes. As when an ally carries your message, things can get lost in translation, even if they don't intend to. Which is why when Sam and Charlene reached out to me to be a founding member of the Stonewall Foundation, I was honored. I was inspired. It was an opportunity to go above and beyond everything I had done at the Stonewall Club to empower the next wave of youth. I want to say again, thank you for this award. I appreciate it, and it is not the end of my journey. I will continue to be working with the center, the foundation, the club, and every avenue I can to increase not only rights for the community, but the voices of the community. It's when the community has the ability to actually speak for themselves that real change will get done. Thank you.
Charlene and Tim with the Stonewall Foundation, folks. A lot of love for Charlene and Tim. Yes, we see all of the love in the YouTube chat bar from Matthew Nielsen. Tim and Charlene, we love you too. Yes, so much love from Amy and Jordan and Paul. Folks, thank you so much. Thank you, David, for being an amazing guest for us to share with us about our amazing awards tonight, folks. Thank you to the entire community that makes tonight happen. Thank you to all of your generous gifts. Folks, I was just about... What? Folks, wow. Folks, we've got another $1,000 gift from Matthew Nielsen, folks. Another $1,000 gift from Matthew Nielsen. That's another step. Thank you very much, Matthew, folks. Folks, wow, your generosity tonight has genuinely been amazing, and we've done this all virtual, folks. Wow, so much love for Stonewall, for Tim, for Charlene. Thank you so much to everybody. And we also want to, again, thank all of our amazing sponsors, folks. Our sponsors are who make tonight possible. We want to thank Safe Credit Union, Sacramento State, Legato Whiskey, Smud, Kaiser Permanente, Tahoe Blue Vodka, Sarah Christina, Upstream, Stonewall Democrat Sacramento, GILEAD Creating Possible, and Stonewall Foundation of Greater Sacramento. Thank you, folks, for all of our sponsors. A huge, huge congratulations to Robin, Kevin, Charlene, and Tim. Folks, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. We see a lot of love in the YouTube chat bar. Victoria Brown just said congratulations to all of our winners. Folks, you have made tonight an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being here with us, folks. Our Fund to Need has surpassed unbelievable numbers, folks. You have made a huge difference at home. Give yourselves a huge round of applause, folks. Folks, thank you so much for your generosity. Our Fund to Need and our silent auction will stay open until Sunday at 8 p.m., folks. So you're still going to have chance to the Fund to Need. If you have a friend at home or a family member that would love to give to the Sacramento LGBT Community Center, feel free to share this YouTube or tag us at SAC LGBT Center. And folks, share the love. Give other people on social media the opportunity to give to our Fund to Need. Or folks, we've got those $1,000 Mexico packages still available. If anybody would like one, talk to Lance. Folks, thank you so much for all you've done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a wonderful night. And thank you to the Sacramento LGBT Community Center for all you do in our community. Thank you, David, the staff, the board of directors, the sponsors. Another huge shout out to Natalie and a huge, huge shout out to Carlos. Thank you, everybody, for making tonight happen. That was a lot of fun. Have a wonderful night.